Welcome to another video, and we are getting straight into it. So here I have some of my recent Lego purchases, and I've bought these with the intention of adding the parts and pieces to my inventory. Recently I improved the storage of my inventory. It's the first time I've got one, so I'm pretty keen to build it up. And then I also parted out the Lego store modular building, and that was an experience that showed me how important it is to have an inventory that I can fall back on if I'm ever missing parts or pieces. And so that's what this is about, trying to add some reinforcement, and I'm hoping that these purchases will do that. And then here I have one of the Sea Serpent gift with purchase sets. I got this with an order that I placed on my mum's behalf during the Lego Insiders Day event, and I'm not intending to part this out. So it's just sort of made its way into this pile. And then over here I have 2 Lego deliveries to open. So how about we take a look at what's inside? Okay, right, just looking down the side here, I have another Sea Serpent gift with purchase. So I'm pretty sure I know what's in here now. And yeah, this is the second one that I've got. Like I say, the other one came with an order I placed on behalf of my mum. And this one is my order. So yeah, I've done okay there to get 2 Sea Serpent sets. And I think shortly after I placed the purchase, they introduced a 1 set per household rule. So yeah, just in case anyone's wondering why I've got 2, I'm pretty sure the 1 per household rule came in a little bit later. Okay, right. Yeah, typically we've got a box inside a box. Just gonna go and get rid of this one. Well, interestingly, this does have a sticker on it saying not to put it on the shelf before September 15th, 2025. So maybe that could be a little bit of a hint as to what's inside here. I'm pretty sure I know what's in here. I placed the order, so yeah, I would hope I know what's in here. And it should be Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. This has been on my list for a little while now. This is such a cool set, and I've had my eye on it since it was announced, and I think it's due to retire this year, which I'm really surprised by. I'm pretty sure it is going to retire. The suggestions that this is retiring this year seem to be quite strong. I think it was 20% off, and then you get your additional 5% back in the way of points. So not a bad deal in that respect. And yeah, this will be going into the ever-growing backlog. Okay, now to open the smaller box. Okay, right, so in here I have got some blue base plates. And these were, I think, 30% off. And for some reason they're retiring. I know I've mentioned this before in other videos, but yeah, blue base plates are retiring. So it's a weird one. I don't really understand it. My thinking is that maybe they're changing the set number, repackaging it, something like that. And perhaps it means they have to technically retire it in order to re-release it. Besides that, maybe they're changing the shade of their blue base plates. I really don't know. But yeah, 30% off base plates in any case. That's a deal worth taking. With that mini haul out of the way, it's led me quite nicely into the main point of this video, which is to add parts to the inventory. So starting with base plates, 5 of these are from the box I just opened, and another 5 are from John Lewis. I don't know which pile is which, but it doesn't matter, they're all the same. And the ones that I got from John Lewis I also got whilst they were on sale, but they weren't as good of an offer as I got from Lego. But base plates are base plates, so I took the opportunity whilst it was there. These are going to be quite easy to put away. They're going to go into the bottom drawer with the other base plates, as well as the Mills plating parts and pieces. Next up, I have this container with a mix of stuff inside it. So the bags that we can see on top here and to the side, those are from another one of this set. So this Christmas table decoration was 50% off in John Lewis, and it was just really good timing. I wanted to pick up one of these sets for these 1x2 sloped tiles in green. I used one for creating a micro scale Shire in the Lego store modular building as part of a Lord of the Rings window display. And yeah, it was just great timing. Just happened that John Lewis had these for 50% off. I know they say $27.99 crossed out, but full price is $39.99. So I'm not sure why it has $27.99, but yeah, 50% off. So I took the opportunity to get 2, which is what you can see here, the other one. This one is sealed. And then one of the bags here is already opened, which is why there are some parts spread across the desk. So moving these bags out of the way, I have some loose parts down here. These are a mix of a couple of sets. One is the Microfighter Slave 1, and the other is a Creator set, like one of the smaller ones. I think it was about just under £10, just with a mix of parts and pieces. And yeah, these need to be organised, as do these, and I need to open this. So let's take care of that. That's taking care of those parts, and this container is now empty for the time being. I got some great parts out of it, especially these Christmas sets. I've still got this one to do, but yeah, there's some great parts in there. And these containers are looking very healthy. I know this looks like a mess. I know it all looks unorganised, but it's working for me, it's manageable, and it's just for the short time that I'm taking care of this. And then all these containers will go back in the drawer. So yeah, it's working. I'm going to grab some dinner though, and I'm thinking that I'll probably come back to this tomorrow. I've got a couple of days ahead where I can just come and chip away at it. So yeah, I'll see you in just a moment. It's a couple of days later, so a little bit longer than I would have liked. But nevertheless, I'm back and I'm continuing to part out these sets. So moving on, I've got a sandwich bag here. So inside is the smaller Simba set and also the smaller Flying Forward Anglia. These were both Jess's, but she didn't want them anymore. So I thought it'd just be best to part them out. And then I've got the second Christmas table decoration set to go through and part out. And I wanted to take a moment just to recommend this if you're looking to boost your own inventory and you want plant elements. This is a brilliant set for that. And you also get these larger red parts as well, just as a additional bonus, but particularly for the plant elements, this is a brilliant set to get. And then just taking a quick look at what's inside some of these bags. So in this bag, number 5, there's these larger bush elements. They're brilliant to have. I'm going to be using these for the botanical garden expansion. So yeah, they're going to come in very useful. And then even in bag number 4, we've got these larger leaves. So again, brilliant parts to have. Number 8 has those larger red parts that I was just mentioning. Bag number 1, we've got these green plates, as well as these, I don't know exactly what the colour is, but these kind of turquoise bricks. And then in bag number 2, we've got these connector parts, these 1x2 round tiles. And they're going to come in very useful with my ideas for the expansion for the botanical garden. Another slightly larger plate. So they're all the bags out of the box. And like I say, I just wanted to take a moment to recommend this set for anyone that's looking to increase their plant parts. At the end of that part organisation, these containers are looking good. And I've been left with 2 minifigures. So I've got Harry and Ron from the Flying Forward Anglia set. So they can go into the minifigure collection. And now I'm moving on to these Lego Classic sets. So I've got the suitcase here and the 2x4 brick. I think this is the first time I've purchased these types of sets. So I'm curious to see what's inside. Okay, let's take a look inside this suitcase. See what the inside of this looks like. Interesting, okay. I'm already assuming these are supposed to be dividers. Let's take them out and see what we've got in here. So it's just a small collection of bricks and pieces. But yeah, this is just looking like some bricks, which I really could do with. And just random parts. I'm not too bothered about specific parts and pieces in this. This is what I bought it for, was just to have some unsuspecting bricks and pieces. So yeah. I've just put the bags in this container for the time being, and then I'll just shift that stuff to the back. And then taking a look at this 2x4 brick box, which is a pretty cool box to have really. Let's get this cardboard sheet taken off. Right, and there on the box you can see the parts and pieces that are inside. So I did scope out this set before I purchased it. And once again, yeah, I was just wanting to get a mixture of parts and pieces. Okay, I've made a right meal of that, trying to do it one-handed whilst I hold the camera. Let's take a look inside here. Oh, okay, so we've got paper bags in this one. That's not something you see all the time, unnumbered bags. So I guess that's something to tick off the Lego bucket list. And there's the instructions with some ideas that can be built with these parts. And that is everything out of the box. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think there's about 8 bags in that box. Oh, and there's I think it's a 16 by 16 plate. Let's check. 14, 15, 16. Yeah, 16 by 16 plate there. So that's actually pretty good to have. It's an additional plate for meals plating. And for anyone that might be curious, there's the inside of the box. So it's actually a pretty decently sized storage box. But yeah, I don't know that I'll keep it. I might try and find someone in the family with kids that might be able to make use of it. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this box. But anyway, taking a look at what I've pulled out of those boxes, or the suitcase, I've got, like I say, about 8 paper bags there from the 2x4 box. I've also got a small plate there. And then, yeah, got these, how many bags? 4 bags. 4 bags out of the suitcase. Okay, so with that done, let's get these parts organised into the containers. I've just taken a moment to open up the bags from that larger box and just take a look at what's inside. I know there's a graphic on the back of the box that showed what was inside, but I think it's a little bit easier to get an idea of what exactly is inside when you can actually see the quantity as well. So I've got some of the parts in containers, and then I've just opened the rest of the bags because they're already organised into their colours, which is pretty handy for me because at this point in my inventory, I'm being quite general with it. So like you can see here, I've got different shades of green in this container. And where's another example? This yellow one, different shades of yellow. The same with the blue. So I don't really want to mess around with these too much because in the case of the blue ones, they can just go straight into the blue container. I think this is pretty much the same with this container as well. Can go straight into this one over here. And I've got the brick separator there, so that's always useful. And yeah, like I say, just taking a moment to look inside, there's some really great parts and pieces. Like it's the larger bricks that come in very useful. And again, it's just the unsuspecting parts that you might not think you would need. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with what you get inside that 2x4 box. I need to organise these now. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I pick another one up in the future. And that is the end of the part organisation for the time being. These containers are starting to look really healthy. So just taking a quick look around, this has the smaller parts and pieces, tiles and plates. There's a curved brick there. And then in here I've got Technic connectors and whatever else. So Technic pins and yeah, just various parts and pieces. And then in this one I've got, well, I don't know exactly what to refer to them as. In my mind I keep calling them specialist parts and pieces, which I don't know. Yeah, they're just printed parts, or in this case, something that's been stickered. There's an owl, and there's also the various transparent pieces that are coloured, such as, let's see if we can find an example. There's one. No, I've lost it, but there's another example there. So 2x2 round brick in transparent orange. There's a door from the Ford Anglia with the print on it. So yeah, and there's lots of these small round tiles with eyes printed on. And then I've got 2 green containers now. So this one here is the second of them. And yeah, there's a mix of different greens. This one is the transparent parts and pieces. I've got this black container, these tan and sand parts, light grey. There's the other green one, and that's why I've started a second container, because this one is looking very healthy. And then we've got some of the larger plant parts and pieces, and I was looking at these a while ago thinking I've got to get some more because I've got something in mind that's going to require a very large amount of them. These transparent blue parts, these are going to be used for making the rivers, and then the smaller plant elements, which once again, it's a very healthy looking container. In here I've got some Technic parts and pieces, as well as tyres and the wheels. This is the brown container with some brown bushes. The oranges and yellows, to be fair, I don't know why that's separated. That can go in there now. And then the white container, the nougat colours, the reds, the blues. This one is a bit of a mixture again. It's the sort of more colourful stuff, the purples and pinks, and now I don't know exactly what shade this is. It's that kind of peach salmon kind of colour. I don't know exactly what the colour is listed on Lego's PAB service. And then I've got that 16 by 16. I've got a couple of, are they 6 by 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 by 12 plates there. Those minifigures again. And then this is why I'm particularly glad I got these boxes, because I've managed to get these blue 1x1 modified plates, and I was missing one from the Lego Store modular building. I didn't order some of the blue parts for it, and so I just need one of these. I know I've got 4, but yeah, at least I've got one now without needing to order one from the PAB service, and then they can just go in there for the time being. So yeah, I feel like that's done a very good job of reinforcing the inventory, which is what I wanted from this. And now I just need to get these containers back into the drawers. The containers have now been put away. They've been stacked as best I can. They're in no particular order. And looking up here, this drawer is full of them. So I'm getting a little bit tight on space at this point in these drawers. And that's because I've got these PAB orders that are for a specific Lego City project. So the sooner I take care of those projects, the sooner I'll have this half of the drawer freed up for more parts containers. I'm really pleased with those parts and pieces that I was able to add to the inventory, and I feel like it's really reinforced it. And if I need to, hopefully there's enough parts and pieces for me to fall back on. And as time goes on, I'm sure I'll be adding more to it. At this point, it's time to end the video. Thanks for watching. And if you've made it this far into the video, then of course a massive thank you. And perhaps you can consider hitting that subscribe button. Anyway, in the meantime, take care.